what I'm going to speak is very specific to the gaming industry. So first thing which I want to tell you, I've experienced and I've played around it. I have amended it. And we've tweaked around it as the demand of the time has called it for is quite a few of these. Yeah, means rather, I would say each one of them have been times where, there was a situation which demanded a tweak and we did it. So when you play a game, you know that there is something called as gameplay. Gameplay means how the game is being played. Yes, there's a mechanism behind it, right? And how is that set? That is set by generally the operation department. So, 1 second, guys. Yeah, sorry for that. So when you play a game, the mechanism behind it is known as gameplay. Now I tell you how as lawyers we will come across it. Say today you have to create a legal opinion for a gaming company. So a lot of legal opinion is required in the gaming industry. Right now it will be reduced because of the IT rules are there. But earlier, anywhere, even if you would have to publish your game on something like Facebook or Meta, you would need a legal opinion, and legal opinions are quite a costly affair. Okay, so the first thing they will ask you is, hey, can you tell me the gameplay? So you as an in-house lawyer or you as a freelancer, you should know what a gameplay is. You will go and you will see all these websites which easily speak about the gameplay. There is a section where they describe the formats of the game. Yeah. And this is done by the operations. And you need to understand it as a lawyer. So that is why I say, when you're a technology lawyer, you can just not do with the laws. You need to know the technology also. So because of this, you understand the gameplay. And if you can understand the gameplay, then you are the most spotted lawyer in that industry. So when I interviewed for a gaming company, they certainly asked me that, do you know how to play this game? Irrespectively, if you know or not, it will not make much of a difference if you're a lawyer, but if you know it, you're certainly widening the eyes. So it is very important to understand how a game operates. And then you can understand what has been written by that operations side. Yeah, and if needs tweak, you can tweak it. And if you're giving legal opinions, you can use that. And on that basis, you can formulate your entire opinion. That is how important the gameplay is. And now why is it important to be put under the TNCs? Because you are creating transparency, you're creating that trust, you're showing the mechanism right out there that this is how it is operating. Then nobody can come and claim that, hey, there was use of AI on your systems. There was something which is foul and there was something which is, not correct and we doubt it. You can always show your gameplay. And then that is why you need to create a section, if it is in the gaming industry, which will speak about gameplay for each game. Yeah. So now if you go to a fantasy website, they will have fantasy cricket, fantasy kabaddi, fantasy football, and whatnot. So you define it precisely. Now, again, you're a lawyer, right? So you take the help of those departments, understand it from them, and create those clauses around it. Maybe the game part will be completely operational. The clauses below it will be your skills of creating. And it is very, very important. If you don't have it, it will land you into soup or the organization into soup sometime or the other. Now you might be thinking how? Because some player will come and it will tell the customer care that, hey, I doubt your gameplay. There's some robots on the system. There's collusion, there is fraud, something's wrong. Then how do you protect? By way of gameplay. Of course, there will be many other clauses around it, but gameplay is very important. Go and check n number of gaming websites today, and you will see that they will define gameplay. So as much as you focus on the TNCs, which are there out there in the technology industry, each one has it. The gaming industry, without gameplay, I tell you, your TNCs are somewhere 50%. The general rule of participation. You will find in the general TC that there are the general rules of participation. But apart from that, all these, like now, IPL is going on. So all the fantasy websites have big tournaments out there and they're vouching out for some crores of money out there to be won, right? So if you go and see, they will have certain specific rules apart from what has been stated in the TNC. Yeah. And you as a lawyer will have to check and verify where it needs to be in sync with the general TNCs and where it can be separate from in terms of being that particular specific tournament. So you need to have this. You need to check also that, okay, is the age criteria 18 for both? Are they saying that you can withdraw only after KYC is done? Yeah, so you have to match and you need to know how this industry operates. What are the general basic rules? You need to know the general basic laws of this industry. Then you will match it with the general rules of participation. Private and public contest. Every gaming website will give you this proposition that if you want to play private, because why? They are a platform providing you services. They do not own anything. Right? So they can give you a private table also to play, a private room also to play, right? Where you can get your friends and just play amongst your people. And it can be also public. Maximum contests are public. But if you ask for a private table, there are going to be certain specific TNCs around it, right? You cannot sit on the private tables and do something which is illegal, right? There have to be checks and balances around it. So you create those TNCs. You cannot say that I didn't know about it. You got to know about it. And if not, we are learning it right now. We will speak about no warranty and prohibition after we complete the slide. Then there's something very, very important which is followed as a general rule under this entire industry is that the employee, their family, and the affiliates are prohibited from playing on the platform. Yeah. Why? Because it does not create a conflict of interest. Now, I tell you, there are companies where the employees are playing also because they are working for a company, they know the website, they would love to play it, they're fond of the game. So what happens in such a scenario? You can suggest them that create an internal policy that if the employees are playing, they will have to do a particular kind of documentation and it has to be approved by their team manager if they win and there is any kind of cash out or anything around that particular game which they're playing. Yeah, because externally it is placed on your TNC that as employees, as affiliates, as family members of the employees, you cannot play. But there can be a tweak around it, and the tweak is you create an internal policy, and that's fair enough. It's okay because maximum game sites have their employees playing on it. Yeah, because these gaming companies have a lot of youth being attracted. That is why I'm saying that it's a very dynamic industry. If you go and visit a gaming company, you will see it is the youth driving it. Yeah, I must have visited at least 5-6 of them, and I see only youth around. Yeah, that is why I'm saying that this is one place where everybody should be going and keeping their eyes wide and trying in this field, because we have no idea of how it is going to escalate in the next few years. But yes, it is only for those who are really dynamic, who are ready to take on the challenges. Set aside that, but when it comes to looking into the TNCs, you have to think it from the side of a mind of a lawyer. It is not something very linear, all right? You can tweak it as long as it is legal. Provide customer care support. Now it has become a part of the IT rules for online gaming, or you call it under the IT, you call it under the data privacy policies, whatever you name it. But earlier, customer care support would not be there, or it would just be simply chat. It doesn't help. You do not create that, value as a brand if you are not providing this kind of support, because your client, your player is everything, right? He's the revenue generator. And if he has grievances and you do not have a model to redress it, doom, you will be out of business. And who will help? The organization is not sitting there to brainstorm about everything. If they are hiring you as a lawyer, you have something to add value to. I use this word very often, add value, but that is what I have believed in. And I've seen that every time you add value, you're not only adding value to your customer, client, organization, but you are adding value to your personal brand also. Okay. Address in contact, put it in your TNCs. What are you afraid of? How many people will come to your company? 1, 2, if somebody is very aggressive, but giving that shows that you're legit, you're confident, you mark a place on the map in case of a breach of the TNC by the user. So we are in the TNCs, we mention everything, but do you understand it is so important to also mention that what if there is a breach by the user? Because if you don't mention it, say tomorrow by mistake your mechanism went wrong, somebody was to win around 1,000 rupees and by your mechanism went wrong and it deposited 1,00,000 rupee in their account, right? So, and the user will say, hey, I am not in any breach, it's your fault. Will you not create a mechanism around it? If you don't think in these terms, how is the company going to survive? And in the digital world, anything is possible. So he is in violation, right? That guy is trying to defraud you. So you have to tweak around your policies, put it in a manner and say that whatever it may be, mechanisms can get wrong, but you know it. You know, the bank account, if you get the statements out, it will reflect. How did the money go? So you better, rather than going into all that jamila, you better pay our money back. You put it on your TNC that this can happen. And it might be, that we credited by mistake. So if we write back to you, you have to give our money back. Or there will be, repercussions and legal actions. I have been through this. That is, I am sharing it with you. So here is where we come into action. See, you don't become a cost center to any company that you have been put into. You actually work as a business partner with them, right? To escalate the business, to enhance the brand value, to add solidity to it. That is what lawyers are looked into when they are working as in-house counsels. Then that is what you will add when you work on policies. That is why I said that policies is not a cakewalk. It takes time. You will have to brainstorm and you have to keep updating it every time you are in again.